Breathe in slowly. Allow the weight at the crown of your head to soften. There is no rush here. You are welcome to sit, to lie down, to move gently with this voice. This track is a doorway to the language of who you are now, spoken in the present, felt in the body, anchored in breath. You may repeat these statements aloud or let them settle inwardly like a tide. Either way, let the words live through your chest and your bones. When you are ready, soften your jaw, settle your shoulders, and invite a steady rhythm to your breath. Each line that follows is an invitation. Claim it, feel it, let it shape you. Listen as if you are speaking to yourself with the tenderness of a close friend. Relax, breathe, and become the voice you need. I am here, steady and present. I feel the ground beneath me, firm, reliable, holding my weight. I am more than enough in this moment. I feel a soft, steady pulse in my chest, a quiet rhythm that says, I am alive and I am able. I am worthy of care and effort. I feel warmth in my palms, a small current of calm that travels through my hands and up my arms. I am permitted to receive good things. I feel allowance in my throat, a loosening that opens space for yes. I am rooted like a tree, my feet finding the earth. I feel roots descend, each breath planting me deeper into steady soil. I am held by a force larger than my worries. I feel safe to let the smaller storms pass across the surface of my life. I am not my past. I am the sum of my present choices. I feel the present as a gentle light, washing away needless weight. I am deserving of respect and kind attention. I feel my posture change, shoulders aligning, head lifting with quiet dignity. I am capable of learning, adapting, and growing. I feel curiosity like a tide, bringing in new textures of possibility. I am the author of my next move. I feel clarity sharpen like a cool breeze behind my eyes. I am a magnet for opportunities that align with my values. I feel a subtle pull toward doors that open for me, toward people and projects that resonate. I am abundant in resources of creativity and inner strength. I feel abundance as a warm current under my ribs, steady and generous. I am open to the flow of good things, practical and unexpected. I feel the current of possibility passing through me like a river widening. I am aligned with purpose that lights my steps. I feel each action guided by an inner compass that knows the shorter, truer path. I am clear about the contribution I want to make. I feel purpose as a horizon ahead, broad, steady, and reachable. I am positioned to act with intention now. I feel momentum gathering, a small, unstoppable pulse moving me. I am courageous in the face of uncertainty. I feel a spark ignite in my belly, a steady flame that warms without burning. I am willing to try, to stumble, to rise again. I feel resilience as muscle memory. Each recovery makes me stronger. I am confident in my capacity to navigate change. I feel my steps become bolder, each footfall resonant and sure. I am a creative source. Ideas flow through me. I feel inspiration as light arriving in small flashes, like lightning in a clear sky. I am open to odd connections and unexpected solutions. I feel delight when I let curiosity lead. I am the container for new forms to appear. I feel my hands restless with possibility, ready to shape, to build, to play. I am surrounded by people who see my worth and encourage my growth. I feel community as a warm room of lamps, each light added to the whole, none diminished. I am building relationships rooted in mutual respect and generosity. I feel trust forming like braided rope, stronger with each shared truth. I am supported in both steady seasons and sudden changes. I feel the presence of allies, near in thought, present in heart. I am vitality. My body serves me well. I feel energy rising slowly and sustainably, not frantic, but fully awake. I am attentive to what nourishes me and release what drains me. I feel the taste of clarity, simple, clean, satisfying. I am patient with my rhythms. Rest is part of my craft. I feel strength pulse through muscle and marrow, but also a soft ease that accompanies care. I am a leader of my own life. My choices matter. I feel authority in the quiet voice that decides with wisdom, not force. I am influential by example, by steadiness, by compassion. I feel the ripple of gentle leadership as people respond to my integrity. I am guided by values that are mine and chosen. I feel alignment between what I say and what I do, like a clear path beneath my feet. I am open to guidance, internal, unseen, and practical. I feel intuition as a subtle nudge, a tone that rings true. I am receptive to wise counsel and discerning about who I follow. I feel a filter in place now that keeps what is useful and releases the rest. I am trusting of the process without handing over my power. I feel secure in the balance between surrender and action. I am grateful for small victories and quiet moments. I feel gratitude like a soft light that makes ordinary things glow. I am joyful in the simple pleasures that visit me. I feel laughter bubbling up, easy and warm. I am enough, just as I am, while also becoming. I feel peace like a wide, shallow lake, reflective, calm, inviting. I am letting go of old doubts that used to win. I feel them untethering like leaves letting go from a late autumn tree. I am reclaiming time and attention for what matters most. I feel my days shaped by priorities that align with my deepest aims. I am releasing the pressure to be perfect. I am learning to be present. I feel relief as a long exhale moving from my shoulders to my spine. I am precise in action. My moves are purposeful. I feel my decisions shaped by clarity rather than by fear. I am a skilled navigator of my schedule and my energy. I feel the competence of tiny, consistent choices building into momentum. I am patient with process. I honor progress over perfection. I feel the steady accumulation of small yeses forming a large transformation. I am playful and open to wonder. I feel surprise like a bright flicker, sudden and delightful. I am willing to be curious about mistakes. I extract lessons and return to joy. I feel creativity loosen my grip on outcomes, letting process breathe. I am generous to myself when things do not go as planned. I feel kindness toward my future self, the one who will look back and smile. I am attentive to boundaries that protect my energy. I feel a gentle firmness in my no, a soft yet clear line that preserves my capacity. I am respectful of others' needs while honoring my own. I feel the comfort of mutual exchange that sustains friendships and partnerships. I am able to say what I need without fear of losing connection. I feel clarity and communication like a bell struck cleanly. I am resilient. Setbacks become information, not identity. I feel lessons in challenges, each one folded into skill. I am patient with the timeline of growth. I feel trust that the small daily acts compound into something substantial. I am courageous enough to ask for help when I need it. I feel relief in connection, in shared burdens that lighten my load. I am magnetizing abundance in forms that nurture my life. I feel resources arriving, not always how I expect, but always workable. I am inventive with what I have, and gracious when new possibilities come. I feel a gentle prosperity that allows me to give and to receive without calculation. I am generous, and generosity returns to me in many shapes. I feel a steady, joyful circulation of support. I am disciplined, but not harsh. I move with tender consistency. I feel routine as a friend that honors my aims while keeping freedom. I am choosing habits that serve long-term flourishing. I feel small rituals anchor my day. A breath, a stretch, a note of gratitude. I am both flexible and focused. I feel ease in my efforts when I align intention with action. I am a keeper of my promises to myself. I feel trust building each time I follow through on what I intended. I am learning the deep medicine of consistency. I feel a quiet confidence flowering from repeated small commitments. I am reliable to myself and to others. I feel the comfort of being safe. Someone who can be counted on. I am open to the mystery of unseen support. I feel gentle currents of help move around me like air, present but not always visible. I am allowed to receive without having to explain or earn it. I feel a sense of belonging to a larger creative field of energy. I am connected to possibilities that extend beyond my immediate sight. I feel the horizon widening, and with it, the range of things I can imagine. I am grateful for the clarity I have now. I feel my priorities light up like stars lining a path. I am aligned with actions that reflect my deepest values. I feel courage in my chest that steadies my hands. I am poised for the next step, measured, intentional, alive. I feel momentum building into motion like drums counting the beat. I am ready to meet fear with curiosity rather than avoidance. I feel the body steady as I breathe into tight places and invite space. I am compassionate toward myself when the old narratives appear. I feel understanding like a soft cloth that smooths the rough edges of doubt. I am choosing to respond with presence, not to react from habit. I feel the power of pause, the power of choosing again. I am a source of calm in commotion. I feel clarity when others are loud, a quiet center that organizes my responses. I am a compass for my own values, and through them I touch others gently. I feel influence that is quiet yet effective. I am persuasive not through volume but through authenticity. I feel the steady draw of integrity in my decisions. I am inventive under pressure. I feel solutions appearing as if drawn out by a magnet, each one practical, each one elegant. I am adaptable, turning constraints into creativity. I feel a sparking intelligence that finds the route when the map is incomplete. I am patient with complexity. I feel the surety that complexity always yields to clarity when I stay attentive. I am nourished by rest as well as by effort. I feel restoration in sleep, in pauses, in the slow work of deep breathing. I am learning to steward my energy with respect. I feel replenishment in small acts, water, walk, silence. I am permitted to slow down without shame. I feel the wisdom in listening to my body's honest signals. I am an example of steady courage for those around me. I feel ripple effects of my small, brave acts touching others in ways I cannot always see. I am humble in success and kind in failure. I feel contribution like a soft light expanding outward from my small, consistent choices. I am invested in legacy that begins with daily practices of care. I feel the rightness of patient persistence. I am creative in relationships. I choose presence over perfection. I feel compassionate listening that allows others to feel heard and seen. I am honest and gentle in feedback. I feel the satisfaction of mutual growth, where both give and receive. I am supported and I support. Reciprocity flows easily. I feel warmth in the steady exchange of respect. I am tuned to my inner truth. I speak with clarity. I feel language sharpen like a lens, words that land where they are needed. I am practiced in expressing needs and honoring boundaries. I feel the ease that comes from honest conversation. I am calm when I speak and when I listen. I feel trust deepen with each clear exchange. I am a vessel for gratitude and celebration. I feel joy like a rising tide, lifting small sorrows into perspective. I am conscious of wins both large and subtle. I feel a swelling appreciation that colors ordinary moments with wonder. I am learning to celebrate myself without apology. I feel the buoyancy that comes from acknowledging progress. I am resourceful. I find a path when none seems obvious. I feel options multiply as I shift my attention from problem to possibility. I am inventive, persistent, and resilient. I feel the adrenaline of creative solution tempered by a calm clarity. I am capable of turning setback into strategy. I feel possibility bloom at the margins of difficulty. I am steady, even when speed is required. I feel my breath anchoring me into clarity, quickening in service of focused action. I am effective under pressure because I bring presence, not panic. I feel a composed energy that cuts through noise with purpose. I am prioritized around what matters most. I feel alignment between urgency and intention. I am expanding into the full shape of my potential. I feel edges soften as I claim more of who I am. I am stepping into roles that call to me without shrinking. I feel my capacities enlarge like sails catching more wind. I am curious about how far I can go and determined to explore. I feel a confident excitement that tastes like salted air on a long horizon. I am proud of the courage I practice daily. I feel a gentle swell of self-respect that uplifts my posture and my choices. I am pleased by the small, consistent acts that accumulate into meaningful change. I feel contentment that comes from integrity, not from external validation. I am enough. I am becoming. I am moving. I feel the steady music of momentum vibrating through my bones. I am connected to a wise inner counsel. I feel guidance that is both practical and poetic, intuitive and informed. I am willing to listen to quiet signals before loud demands. I feel discernment like a lantern in dim places. I am guided toward people and projects that mirror my highest intentions. I feel the rightness of those alignments like a chord resolving. I am resilient in relationships. I repair, I grow, I hold space. I feel tenderness when others reveal their edges, and I meet them with patience. I am skilled at creating conditions where trust can deepen. I feel the reward of shared vulnerability, a bond that strengthens rather than breaks. I am a steady presence for loved ones without losing myself. I feel mutual safety in the care we exchange. I am creative with my time. I make room for deep work and for deep rest. I feel priority lines appearing that guide my day with elegance. I am disciplined in ways that honor joy. I feel the pleasure of focused work finished well and the sweetness of leisure unhurried. I am balanced, flexible, thriving. I feel my days curated with intention, not chaos. I am open to abundance that arrives as small, continuous streams, not sudden explosions. I feel a steady inflow, steady clients, steady support, steady moments of grace. I am grateful for consistent provision and for the surprises that keep life vivid. I feel security that is calm rather than anxious. I am resourceful, wise, and generous with what I receive. I feel abundance circulating easily. I am confident in my ability to communicate vision. I feel language that paints clear pictures and invites collaboration. I am persuasive through integrity, not coercion. I feel people aligning with me because they trust my clarity and my heart. I am capable of rallying others toward meaningful aims. I feel teamwork as an energizing chorus, each voice vital and respected. I am at home in my body. I honor its cues. I feel alert to signs of fatigue, joy, hunger, and tension. I am responsive to my needs with gentle efficiency. I feel a dialogue between body and mind that guides my pace. I am patient with healing and proactive in care. I feel balance cultivated through simple practices that compound into well-being. I am generous with my boundaries and my presence. I feel the joy of giving that does not deplete me. I am clear about what I can offer and what I must conserve. I feel abundant when I distribute my gifts wisely. I am generous without losing myself. I feel my life enriched by wise generosity. I am awake to opportunity when it arrives in small nudges. I feel a readiness that transforms small signals into decisive action. I am tuned to nuance and the subtle cues that create advantage. I feel preparedness like a steady companion, not a lurking pressure. I am poised to act when the moment is right. I feel the satisfying click of alignment between readiness and timing. I am worthy of celebration for all I have done and all I am becoming. I feel a ribbon of joy tying together past and future into a pleasant present. I am willing to acknowledge my wins loudly and my lessons quietly. I feel contentment nested in ambition. Both can coexist. I am moving forward with gratitude guiding my feet. I am grounded in my values when choices are difficult. I feel integrity as the steady hand that guides my compass. I am clear about what I will hold and what I must. I feel the relief of decisions made with conviction rather than from fear. I am calm in the chaos because my center does not wobble. I feel the confident steadiness of someone who knows their north. I am creative in seeing new paths where others see walls. I feel an ability to reframe obstacles into invitations. I am resourceful and quietly ingenious. I feel the fun of outsmarting limitations with gentleness and wit. I am inventive without sacrificing grace. I feel the satisfaction of elegant solutions. I am worthy of love that reflects my truth. I feel love first in the form of self-respect, then mirrored back by others who match my values. I am choosy, not scarce. I choose companions who honor my space and my spark. I feel companionship as mutual growth, not consumption. I am loved for who I am and for who I am becoming. I feel the warmth of belonging as a steady ember. I am ready to move from intention into action. I feel momentum mounting like a drumbeat, growing louder and more insistent. I am decisive. I select next steps that are aligned and kind. I feel clarity about the first practical step, one small act, well considered. I am committed to starting, to iterating, to learning. I feel the power of beginning harnessed into steady progress. I am unstoppable in the sense that I persist with intelligence and heart. I feel obstacles become part of the terrain I navigate with skill. I am courageous in my commitments and compassionate with my missteps. I feel the surge of momentum now, bold, focused, generous. I am aligned with abundance, purpose, and joy together. I feel gratitude swelling as I notice the constellation of small wins forming a larger map. I am calm now, returning from the crest of momentum to center. I feel my breath slow, an intentional descent from high energy to grounded presence. I am whole in both action and rest. I feel gratitude for the capacity to move and the wisdom to pause. I am carrying forward the newness I have claimed. I feel a gentle settling, a soft packing of power into my bones. I am anchored in my body. I feel my feet on solid ground. I am centered in my heart. I feel a steady warmth there. I am clear in my mind. I feel thoughts aligned with purpose. I am generous in my spirit. I feel love expand like light. I am steady in my will. I feel conviction as calm strength. I am ready to carry this forward. I feel the residue of these words lingering in my posture, in my breath, in the small decisions I will make next. I am present and prepared, grounded and open, calm and energized. I feel a final soft pulse, a reminder that I can return to this place whenever I need. Allow this feeling to remain as you choose to move, slowly, deliberately, and with grace. When you are ready, let the breath that has been steady become your simple companion as you move. Keep the softness at the back of your throat. Let your shoulders remember ease. There is no rush to gather your things. Allow your hands to find the small practices that have agreed to carry you forward. A clean cup, a folded list, the plant that leans toward the window. You open your eyes slowly, as if revisiting a room you had left in the middle of a sentence. The light has shifted, thinner now, more honest, and it paints a line across the floor. There is a faint sound from outside, a bicycle bell, distant laughter, the low hum of the city breathing at a polite distance. None of it intrudes on the sanctity of the stillness you gathered. Instead, it frames it, like a border that holds a page. Move with intention. Let the first small acts be ceremonial rather than hurried. Fill your cup and notice the sound of water naming itself in the kettle. Tend the plant. Run your fingertips along the edge of a leaf, feeling the little rasp of life. These are not chores. They are tiny contracts with presence, agreements you keep to remind yourself that you live in a body, and the body must be treated with care. When you put the list together, write one tangible step at the top and circle it. Don't sketch a mosaic of everything you might someday do. Pick one thing that matters today. A single call, a short draft, a walk with no agenda. Make the step small enough that it feels less like an obligation and more like an invitation. The momentum you practiced in the meditation favors the small. Begin there. As you move through your apartment, let the space reflect the steadiness you carried inward. Straighten a cushion, fold a blanket, collect a stray dish. These acts are not about perfection. They are about aligning outer order with inner calm. When your environment speaks the same language as your interior, the decisions ahead come easier. You are not creating a shrine of control. You are setting down a few beacons so you can find your way back. There will be people today whose needs collide with yours. You will be asked for favors, opinions, presents. Remember the generosity you affirmed. It is not endless. You have practiced the art of generous boundaries. When you answer, do so from that place. If you can give, give fully and freely. If you must conserve your energy, say so gently and plainly. You will be surprised at how few people are truly offended by honesty that is offered with kindness. As you prepare to step outside, wrap yourself in one decision: to listen first. Listening is a quiet kind of courage. It asks you to set aside the script you keep for others and to notice what they are actually trying to say. In conversations, look for the small signals, the way the voice drops when a wound is named, the flash of light when someone finds hope, and respond to those. Sometimes listening is the boldest thing you can offer. Sometimes it is enough. At the threshold, check the pulse of your resolve. One small act done well. It may be an email that names the next meeting's purpose with clarity. It may be a message to a friend you have meant to call for weeks. It may be choosing to say no to something that would scatter you. Whatever it is, conduct that first act with the same quiet precision you used in the meditation. Let your words be trimmed of excess. Let them arrive like a small, steady boat to a worn shore. The world outside is neither an enemy nor a mirror. It is an active field in which you practice. You will encounter friction. You will find things messy and people imperfect. Allow yourself to be charitable about their chaos while remaining uncompromising with your own needs. This is not compromise. It is stewardship. You steward your time, your attention, your tenderness. You do so with a kind of practical reverence. On the walk to the station, the air is cool and holds a suggestion of rain. You notice the exact angle of light on brick and how it reveals textures you often miss: the scalloped edge where paint flaked, the moss that claimed a corner. These details are invitations to curiosity. When you cultivate curiosity, you widen the aperture of your life. Problems shrink because you see them in relief. Opportunities appear because you look with open eyes. There is a meeting scheduled for later, a conversation that could tilt the week. You hold it lightly. Imagine it like a door that could open or remain closed, Both outcomes are possible, and neither defines your worth. Prepare by naming your 3 non-negotiables, the values you will not trade in that room. Keep them as silent talismans in your pocket. When the conversation arrives, let these values guide you more than fear or flattery. Your creativity, once promised in meditation, will insist on small, repeated gestures. Schedule a short window each day, 15 minutes perhaps, to do what your work requires most. Write a paragraph, draft an outline, sketch a plan. Protect this time as if it were an appointment with a beloved. You will not always produce brilliance in that span, but you will keep the muscle of beginning alive. The habit will compound more reliably than any grand sporadic push. Generosity and discernment must walk together. When an opportunity asks for all of you, measure it against the life you are building. Ask, does this align with the direction you have chosen? Will it amplify or diffuse your ability to do the work that matters most? Your answers may not be obvious at first glance, but the truth usually reveals itself in the language your body uses. Looseness, a tightening, a lightness. Trust those sensations as quietly authoritative. Midday arrives, and with it the small rebellion of hunger. Eat with intention. Choose food that steadies rather than spikes. Take a full pause, away from screens. Chew slowly enough to taste. These minutes are not pauses from productivity. They are the most essential part of it. They teach you that presence does not live only in moments of outward accomplishment, but in ordinary acts of care. When the afternoon brings an error or a misstep, greet it without drama. Mistakes are not moral failures. They are data. Ask what the error is teaching you and whether it demands correction, a new approach, or forgiveness. Correct when necessary, apologize when needed, and move forward without overstaying in shame. You are steady because you learn, not because you are unbroken. As the day wears on, you will notice the impulse to overextend, to say yes out of fear of missing something, out of a habit of pleasing. Catch the impulse. Breathe into it. Name aloud if it helps, no, not now. Saying no is a form of honesty you owe yourself and others. When you decline, you clear a space that allows your true commitments to grow without diluting into mere busyness. There will be brief windows that ask for boldness. Maybe it's raising a hand to propose an idea in a meeting or speaking truth to someone in need of hearing it. Boldness does not require brazen posture. Often it arrives as a measured voice and a clear sentence. Prepare one declarative sentence that carries your point. Practice it quietly once or twice. Then let the moment take it from there. As evening begins, honor the swing from action to rest. There is value in closing the edges of the day with ritual. Light a candle or dim a lamp. Put away devices that tend to drag you back into urgency. Read something that nourishes rather than agitates. If you keep a journal, jot 3 small wins from the day. They need not be grand. Maybe you watered the plant. Maybe you set a boundary. Maybe you sent the message you'd been avoiding. These small wins are the constellations by which you learn to navigate. Reflection is not an inventory of failures. It is a map of learning. Sit with one question before sleep. What did I do today that aligned with who I want to be? Let that question be a gentle inquiry rather than an examination. Answer it with compassion and specificity, then release it. You will carry the answer like a compass into tomorrow. Love exists in practice as much as in feeling. If someone shares their need with you tonight, respond from the place of steady boundaries and open heart you rehearsed this morning. If you are alone, remember that your solitude is not absence, but capacity. Capacity to be present for yourself in ways that feed you. Reach out when you can. Choose, not when loneliness demands. Choose people who match your pace and your ethics. Choose conversation that enlarges rather than consumes. Sleep will be better when you have honored the limits you set. Turn your attention to the breath one last time, letting the belly fall and rise with the same deliberate kindness you began the day with. If thoughts come, notice them like visitors who will leave if not held. You are not your thoughts. You are the field in which they appear. Return to the breath. There will be days when it feels like you did little despite your efforts. Those days matter just as much. The steadiness you are cultivating is not a guarantee of spectacular result. It is a promise of integrity. Some days will be sharp and productive. Some will be quiet and reparative. Both are necessary. Both are honorable. Before sleep, make a small note for tomorrow. One clear, actionable next step that does not require permission from anyone else. This is the thread you will pick up. Keep the instructions small enough that it does not intimidate you at dawn. Place it where you will see it in the morning. This tiny architecture of continuity is what sustains larger arcs over time. You are not required to be more than you can be, but you are invited to be fully what you are. Let your commitments be measured by kindness, both to others and to yourself. When you act from that place, your work acquires a steadier weight, one that does not crush but supports. Some days will be sharp and productive, some will be quiet and reparative. Both are necessary, both are honorable. Before sleep, make a small note for tomorrow. One clear, actionable next step that does not require permission from anyone else. This is the thread you will pick up. Keep the instructions small enough that it does not intimidate you at dawn. Place it where you will see it in the morning. This tiny architecture of continuity is what sustains larger arcs over time. You are not required to be more than you can be, but you are invited to be fully what you are. Let your commitments be measured by kindness, both to others and to yourself. When you act from that place, your work acquires a steadier weight, one that does not crush but supports. When the world asks you to perform beyond your means, remember the posture you practice today. Breathe, name the boundary, choose the single step, keep your generosity intelligent. The path forward is composed of aligned, repeated choices, not frantic leaps. There is beauty in the smallness of the life you build, the way a steady cup of tea centers you, how a clear sentence opens a meeting, how a decisive no makes room for a decisive yes. These are the quiet architecture of an enduring life. Now, carry this into your next hour. Feel the residue of these intentions in your shoulders, a lightness in their set. Let your hands move with purpose, your speech with kindness, your attention with mercy. Step into the world as someone who has practiced being present and who knows how to return to that presence no matter the distraction. You stand at the door again, keys in hand, the day waiting like a page. You are both finite and capable. You breathe once to center, then step out with one small, deliberate act in your pocket, the first step toward whatever you are building. You cross the threshold, and the evening takes you, slow, breathable, ordinary. The air has the kind of coolness that clarifies decisions. Your keys press a little against your palm, like a talisman. There is no need to hurry. Move as if the act of walking were itself a practice deliberately. Notice the meeting of shoe and pavement. Allow your shoulders to soften. At the corner, a lighted window throws a rectangle of warmth across the sidewalk. A woman leans out and calls your name. A neighbor with a question, a familiar request that used to pull you into immediate assent. Until now, you might have felt the old reflex. Yes, quick, so they will like you, so the moment will not awkward. Tonight, you feel the boundary you rehearsed. You breathe once, center, and speak the sentence you prepared this morning. I can't help with that tonight, but I can do X on Thursday. Say it plainly, without over-apology or unnecessary justification. The words carry the steadiness you practiced. They land as a kind, final line. She scans your face for more, for that old, anxious softening, and then she nods. There is a small hitch in her relief, a flash of disappointment, then gratitude in the exchange that follows, because now the help you promised will be reliable. Your answer made space for both your limits and your integrity. That is how steadiness tends to the world, by making practical promises instead of scattered ones. You keep walking. The street smells faintly of coffee and rain. Someone is playing a guitar inside a nearby doorway. You notice details without clutching at them. Notice is not ownership. Notice is care. Your attention now functions like a lens, choosing what to bring into focus and what to let diffuse. A message arrives in the periphery, the impulse to check. Old habits are patient hunters. You do not reach for your phone. Instead, you open your hand and feel the small folded paper you put in your pocket before leaving. Tomorrow's single step. You read it in the light of a passing street lamp. The instruction is modest. Write 300 words at 7 a.m. The sentence is a scaffold, not a verdict. Its presence reduces anxiety because it narrows the horizon to one manageable motion. Across the street, a bus slows, passengers shifting. You imagine boarding and being carried forward by other people's timetables. The thought makes you smile. You are choosing, in small acts, what will be carried. You let the moment decide whether you join that current or stay on your chosen bank. Tonight, you stay with your plan. Choice after choice like that speaks a language of sustained life. Not dramatic rebellion, but steady refusal and quiet acceptance in equal measure. You meet a friend at the corner cafe you both love. The table by the window is half lit. Steam rises from 2 cups. Conversation begins in the ordinary way, weather, small complaints, and then slides toward the precarious, an opportunity that will require more hours, a crisis that will ask for a shoulder. Your friend looks at you with that urgent hope that used to make you swallow your limits. You remember the guided posture. Breathe. Name the boundary. Offer one concrete option. You do it again, not perfectly rehearsed, but shaped by the earlier practice. I can be here for you, you say. I can listen for 30 minutes now, and I can come by Saturday to help sort the paperwork. The sentence is not a half measure. It is generous in its clarity. You hear the tension leave the table like air from a balloon. Your friend is steadier because you are steadier. Being reliable, choosing specific gestures instead of global promises, makes intimacy sustainable. Later, as you walk home, you pass a playground where a child is still on the swings. The arc of the child's legs, the small, authoritative grip on the chains, the way the world tilts and rights again, none of it is metaphoric tonight. It is simple instruction. There is a kind of competence in the small, repeated motions. Push, coast, return. You think of the tiny architectures you have been building, the list on the fridge, the one-sentence plan at dawn, the moment of refusal given as easily as a yes, and you sense their geometry. They hold weight by being small and repeatable. Back in your apartment, you keep the evening rituals you promised yourself. You light a candle in the place you clear for thinking. The flame is minimal and steady. You make tea, not to anesthetize the day, but to attend to it. The kettle sings a brief, honest song. You listen until it stops. You sit with your journal and write 3 quick lines about what went well. The exercise is not flattery, it is orientation. You acknowledge the small wins without inflating them. The boundary kept at the corner, the focused promise to your neighbor, the clear offer to your friend. Each line is a peg you can hang tomorrow's choices on. You set a single intention for the next morning beside your bed. It is specific and action-leaning. Begin the chapter with scene 1. You whisper it into the dim so it feels like a compact bargain between you and the hour to come. Then you lie down and return to the breath practice. Inhale evenly, count to 4, let the belly fall and rise. Thoughts will come, the list of undone errands, the familiar anxieties, and you greet them as passing weather. You do not argue with them. You name one and let it go, as if handing a lost object back over a fence. There will be nights when this steadiness feels thin, when the sum of choices is not enough to unstick large accumulations of expectation. Those nights are not failure. They are further tests of the same muscle, to be kind, to be narrow, to be persistent. If tomorrow brings a scramble, you will still have the architecture you have been building: a clear first step, an honest sentence, a boundary that can be spoken without drama. These small instruments will not produce immediate transformation. They will, however, accumulate into a life that does not crumble under the pressure of other people's timelines. Before you sleep, you send one message that honors both your care and your limits: a line to a colleague about the project timeline, a note to a friend confirming Saturday, a brief text to someone you love. Each is precise and bounded. You do not over-explain. Clarity is a form of tenderness. It spares both you and the other person the wear of guessing. You close your eyes and imagine the morning you rehearsed at the start of the day: the steady chair by the window, the bowl of oatmeal, the sentence you will say before opening your email. Envisioning is not procrastination, it is rehearsal. It smooths possibility into approachable motion. You fall asleep to the sense that tomorrow is not a battleground, but a place where you will continue small, aligned acts. When you rise, you will place the note where you can see it and take the first measured step. Today's choices will not guarantee tomorrow's triumphs, but they teach a more enduring competency: how to be present without dissolving into every urgent demand, how to answer with honesty rather than reflex, how to keep promises that enlarge trust rather than deplete it. This is steadiness in practice, built by daily, intentional acts that look modest from afar but become sustaining up close. Now rest. Tend the small flame inside and let it carry you through the night. When morning arrives, you will open your hands toward the day and begin again with that one clear sentence in your pocket. That sentence will do more than hold a boundary. It will keep you true to the life you are learning to build.